With last week's volcanic eruption and tsunami in Tonga, and then yesterday's earthquake, tens of thousands of Tongan people who now call Utah home are on edge.
But with the worries for family back home comes hope. As Fox 13 News reporter Spencer Joseph shows us, one barbershop in Pleasant Grove is trying to make a huge difference. It's a story you'll only see here.
Full-time barber, leaving a couple inches still for now. Okay.
Whether it's looking your best,
Part-time therapist for sure, because I get to help people with their problems.
Or getting some advice.
His brother's doing okay though, right?
Yeah.
The Fresh Fadeaway Barbershop in Pleasant Grove is the place to go. Fresh cuts here are the name of the game, but when it came to helping an entire island nation, that was a new mission entirely.
Ever since I opened the shop, I'm a big community guy.
Nafe Latu, the owner of the shop, is Tongan. Last week, he got a call from his brother that made his heart sink.
So when I called him, he was in the middle of evacuating his whole family. All he said to me, it was raining rocks. And then the conversation got cut off. And when I called back, it didn't go through.
While there were a lot of emotions throughout the long week, in the back of his mind, he was already thinking about what he could do to help.
My brother was pretty much my parents. He kind of raised me. First of all, I didn't know if my brother was still alive. So I don't know if I had to send something. I don't know who I'm going to send it with.
But that's when he got the idea to ask the community for help, donating supplies.
And the moment that posted, it just kind of exploded. The city of Pleasant Grove got a hold of it and went on the news at one point. It was my first time doing something like that, but it was crazy to be on the giving end of it.
The entire shop getting in on it.
Kind of mind-blowing to see how much we've actually gotten from the community, too.
The goal was to fill one crate.
And by the time it hit Sunday, I'm looking at all the donation, and I'm like it might be trouble. So
the end result, last night sending off 3 large crates of the essentials. But there was one thing that Nafe said had to be there.
I came across the soap of Irish Spring, and I remember packing the Irish Spring, and I told my guys, the smell of Irish Spring when I was a little kid in the island, that was the taste of America.
Thankfully, he's now back in touch with his brother and family, and those 3 crates will go a long way.
Probably the whole village, in the island.
So with every brush, snip, and trim, Nafe's community barbershop becomes a force for good for hundreds in need.
It's a beautiful experience, and I won't ever forget how I feel, coming into the shop and seeing all the donations.